Hello everyone, my name is Amin and I will be your online English teacher. So we have prepared for you a set of activities that we hope is beneficial. So before we start our tasks or activities, I have a very important announcement to make. So إليكم الآن التعليمات الواجب اتباعها عند مشاهدة هذا التسجيل. أولا، عندما أقدم لكم التمرين من الضروري أن تضغطوا على زر pause لتوقيف الفيديو، وبعد الانتهاء من حل التمرين واصل المشاهدة بالضغط على زر play. ملاحظة هامة: عند توقيف الفيديو في تمرين ما يمكنكم الرجوع إلى الكراس أو الكتاب لمراجعة الدرس. أيضا يمكنكم استعمال قاموس أو تطبيق هاتفي للبحث عن معنى الكلمة. Now, let's start our tasks together. Welcome everyone. Today we are going to continue lesson number 2 with the activities. Okay, let's start. Task number 1. So what do the following pictures represent? So here you have 4 pictures, the first, the second, the third, and the fourth. Okay, and all of these pictures refer to one civilization. So what is it? Which civilization does these pictures refer to? Can you please guess? Think about it a little bit. Yeah, I think you might be right. So this is the Chinese civilization. Okay, so now let's see what each picture represents. Let's go with the first one. So look at this picture. Who is here? This is this is a this is an emperor. Okay, an emperor is like a leader. Good. Next. So the second one, what is that? What is this? Landmark. So this is the Great Wall of China. Okay. Number 3. What do we have here? Yeah, it is the architecture. Okay, a Chinese architecture. What about the last one? Look at this. How do we call that? This construction. This is absolutely, this is a bridge. Okay. All right. Okay, well done. So let's go to the next activity. Now we have task number 2. So match the words with their definitions. So in here, you have 4 different words that we have seen before, if you remember, okay? So we have emperor, great wall, architecture, and then bridge. All right, so you have 4 words that you need to match with their corresponding definitions, okay? That is why here we have 4 different definitions. The first one is the art of practice of designing and constructing a building. Constructing a building. Okay. Number 2, a structure carrying a road or path across a river. Okay. Number 3, a sovereign ruler of an empire. Number 4, a famous landmark built as a fortification across the borders of ancient Chinese states. Okay, all right. So think again. If you forget, you can go back to the previous slide and check. All right. So take your time, match each word with its rightful definition, or with the right definition. Okay, I'll give you a few minutes to think about it, and I will come afterwards. Now let's check your answers. So the first one. Now, now let's check your answers. All right, the first one, the first definition, the art of practice of designing and constructing buildings. So what is it? Uh-huh. Yeah, it's architecture. Nice. Well done. Number 2, a structure carrying a road or path across a river. So what is that, if you remember? What is that? Yeah, it's a bridge. Nice work. Number 3, a sovereign ruler of an empire is It's an emperor. All right. Number 4, the last definition, of course. Okay, we have a famous landmark built as a fortification across the borders of ancient Chinese states. So, and it is, of course, the Great Wall. All right, nice. Well done. So now let's move on. Task number 3, cross the odd word out. So in here, in each line, you have 4 words. And within this 4 word, there is one that is odd that you need to get rid of, that you need to omit, that you need to cross. Okay, so let's start. So we have Egyptian, Sumerian, Chinese, Algeria. The second line, ruler, teacher, leader, and emperor. The third line, architecture, agriculture, bridge, and then astronomy. The fourth line, go to, used to, be able to, and had to. The last line, although, though, despite, and finally, because. So take your time, do the activity, and see you in a bit. Okay, so now let's check your answers. So among these 4 words, we have one that is odd. So Egyptians, Sumerian, Chinese, and Algeria. Which one is it? So yeah, you guessed it right. It's Algeria. Why? Because Egyptian, Sumerian, and Chinese are civilization, but Algeria is a country. Okay, so let's go to the second line. So you have ruler, teacher, leader, and emperor. From these words, which is the odd one? Yeah, it's teacher. Okay, good. Third line, we have architecture, agriculture, bridge, and astronomy. Which one is the odd one? Yeah, it's the bridge. Okay, nice. Well done. Okay, the fourth line. So we have go to, used to, be able to, and had to. So come on, tell me, which one is it? Yeah, it's go to because used to, be able to, and had to, these are modals. Okay. Last line. So we have although, though, despite, and then because. So which is, or which one, or which word is the odd one? Yeah, it's because. All right. Well done. Well done. And now, look at the last line. We are going to work with this line in our next task. Let's see. Task number 4. What do the following connectors express? So here we have 3 connectors, although, though, and despite. So come on, think about it. I'm sure you have seen it somewhere in the classroom for sure. Okay. So these connectors express, yeah, they express concession. Okay, the concession. Now, how are they used in a sentence? How can we use these connectors in a sentence or to connect two sentences? Let's see. So let's join the following sentences using although. So here we have a pair of sentences, sentence 1, sentence 2, and we need to link them with one of these connectors, or specifically although. Okay, so we have the emperor lost the war. The emperor was powerful. Okay, so, and the result is, yeah, although the emperor was powerful, he lost the war. Or we can also say, the emperor lost the war, although he was powerful. Is it okay? So you could see here that we have like 2 actions that are a bit opposite in meaning. Okay, a bit of a contradiction. Yeah? All right. So let's continue. Now we are going to see other words expressing concession, okay, other connectors. So let's take the first or the prior example that we have seen in the last slide. So yeah, although the emperor was powerful, he lost the war. Or we can also use the second connector, though, or we can use even though, or despite the fact that, or in spite of the fact that. So, we can use all these words interchangeably. It means that instead of saying although, you can replace it by though, even though, and so forth. Okay? Now let's see the second set of words. So we have despite and in spite of. Okay, so I want you to pay attention. How are we going to link these two sentences? Okay, so let's see. So despite or in spite of the power of the emperor, he lost the war. So what changed here? Okay, I'm gonna help you out. So look at the first sentence in each one. So the first sentence here and the first sentence here. What is different? So in the first sentence, we have a complete sentence, like you have subjects, verb, etc. Okay, but in the second sentence, it's not the same thing. So we have no verb. Okay, so it's not really a sentence, it is a phrase. That is the difference between the two of them. Is that okay? Good. Now let's move on. Task number 5. Fill in each gap with a connector from the list. So we have 4 connectors. We have although, though, in spite of, and despite. Okay, so you got to be careful here because the use is different. Okay, remember, if you ever forget, you can go back to the prior slide. Okay, now the first sentence: the Chinese had a strong army; they were defeated. The second sentence: their developed agriculture; they had famine. The third sentence: having a great empire, illiteracy was spread. Number 4, the Great Wall was fortified. Genghis was able to breach it. Okay, so take your time, all right, and try to put each connector on the right spot. Okay, all right, so as usual, I'll give you a minute to think about it. Okay, pause the video, do the activity, and then come back. Okay, so see you in a bit. Now, let's check your answers. For the first one, yeah, though the Chinese had a strong army, they were defeated. Number 2, despite their developed agriculture, they had famine. Number 3, in spite of having a great empire, illiteracy was spread. The last one, although the Great Wall was fortified, Genghis was able to breach it. Okay, so can you tell me why do we use despite and in spite of in these two particular sentences? So because look in the second example, okay, their developed agriculture is, yeah, it is not a sentence, it is a phrase because there is no verb here. Okay, and for the second one, be careful, having is not a verb here because it's stem plus ing. Okay, it's a gerund here. Okay, all right. Okay, let's continue. Task 6. Rewrite sentence B so that it means the same as sentence A. So in this activity, you are going to have sentence A and sentence B. For example, let's say the first one. Though the Chinese had a strong army, they were defeated. Okay, so you have this sentence, and you need to rewrite it by starting with despite. Okay, all right. So here, be careful if there is any modifications. Okay, you have to bring to the sentence. Yeah. Okay. Number 2. Although the Great Wall was fortified, Genghis was able to breach it. Okay, and here you have to start the second sentence, B, with in spite of. They need to mean this. They need to have, sorry, the same meaning. Is it okay? All right. So before I go, I want to let you know that you can go back to your book or copybook to see the lesson. Okay. All right. So I'll give you a few minutes to think about it, and I'll see you after. So now let's check your answer. So though the Chinese had a strong army, they were defeated. So before we answer, I want you to pay attention to this. So they, the second sentence here, they, it refers to what? Yeah, it refers to the Chinese. Nice. So now let's see what the answer is. So if we are to start the sentence not with though, but with despite. So we will have, despite having a strong army, the Chinese were defeated. Actually, here you're going to see that to use despite, we can use like two ways. First of all, take a look here. We have omitted the subject. Okay, there is no subject here, but the Chinese is replaced in the second sentence. Okay, this is the first thing. The second thing is, look at the verb here, had. Okay, so instead of being a verb here, we're going to turn it into a gerund. So having, which is stem plus ing. Okay, now let's take a look at the another solution. So despite the strength of the army, the Chinese were defeated. Okay, so we took this adjective and we turned it into a noun. All right, okay, so strong, adjective, strength, noun. Okay, so despite the strength of the army, the Chinese were defeated. All right, now let's see number two. So although the Great Wall was fortified, Genghis was able to breach it. Okay, so again here, what does the it refer to in this sentence? Yeah, it refers to the Great Wall. Okay, well done. Okay, so let's see what the solution is. So in spite of being fortified, Genghis was able to breach what? To breach the Great Wall. Is that okay? Yeah. So here we have used the same technique we have used in this example. All right. So the verb here is was. We turn this into a gerund, verb plus ing. Is that okay?
شكرا على المشاهدة. لا تنسوا الاشتراك في القناة، الضغط على الجرس، الإعجاب بالفيديو.